even know God.
Yes.
He said all flesh. And so now everybody will have access to revelation and the mysteries of God. That's good news.
Yes.
You know why he had to do that? Because he knew in the last days it was going to be difficult for people to be able to see who has right motives and who does not.
Wow.
So because you're not going to know, there has to be a dispensation of the prophetic where you can see.
Right.
So he had to do that. Because the people would be lost if we were not under that dispensation to deal with this level of witchcraft. It's been standing for years. And so now that we know that, we understand that now there's a great shifting. And we are, in the larger sense, are part of a system that was supposed to set us free has bound us. Because where the limits were supposed to be off, and we're supposed to be celebrating our differences. You know, the differences of operations and administrations, all that is being taken as you a rebel and not necessary.
Right.
Where he's telling you to value one another, there's hatred. Where we're supposed to be able to give freely, now there's fear.
That's right.
Because we're worried about the motive of the person that's taking our money.
Right. Right.
So he gave us that. He gave us the gift of prophetic in the last days. He also gave us that so that we could move from dependence on people and more dependent on God.
Yes.
It's part of the system. Part of the system. See, we do need people in charge of us. We do need covering, but what we don't need is the total dependence on them.
That's it.
And people take it to the far extreme.
Yes.
You can't function without me. You can't live without me. You're going to fail. You're going to fall. And see, what the truth really of the matter is, Dr. Davis, at any time, any of us can turn back from faith.
That's right. That's right.
So what are we supposed to do in total dependence on a person when they decide to turn back from faith?
That's right.
Because the Bible says there's going to be a great falling away.
That's right.
Let the church say amen.
Right.
Amen.
So he has brought us to a place where we are forced to depend more on God and less on people. Now, what that means for this hour is there are journeys. People are going to have journeys like Paul. Paul was Saul in the beginning. He had an encounter with God that changed his life forever.
Right.
After the encounter, Paul said, I immediately consulted not with flesh and blood.
That's right. That's right.
Am I in the book? Now this ain't good preaching for other preachers.
Right.
Because their insecurities depend on how many people come to hear them preach. They got to force people to control people to keep coming and keep giving them rather than allowing the Spirit to have its way.
Right.
So people are going to have that Paul journey now.
Right.
Immediately I consulted not with flesh and blood. He said, I went away to Arabia for 3 years. Just me and God communing. Just me and God. Me and God. Me and God communing for 3 years. And when I came out, I went to go see Peter, and that for only 15 days.
Right.
And he was endued with power when he came out.
That's right.
He stayed with Peter 15 days. And I don't even want to get into how later on down the road, he had to rebuke the person that was his senior.
That's right.
People don't preach that. That ain't popular preaching right now. You only get that if you read it.
Right.
But he rebuked Peter for being a two-faced.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
And
did.
he was his senior in the Holy Ghost. He had walked with Jesus himself.
Right.
So now he comes out and he's endued with power after 3 years. A 3-year journey with him and God. And I'm not saying that anybody has to leave their church, because you can walk alone with God and be coming to church every week.
That's right.
But you're in a spiritual place where it's you and God, and he is communing with you and enduing you with power right there.
Right.
He'll be teaching you right there through those situations of mess and junk.
That's right.
And so what God want to know today is exactly how do we go from 3 years with me communing with man all the way to 2009, 2008, 2007 with people dying out of season and never even finishing the work.
Right. Right.
How do we get there? How we put people in the ground before they time?
That's right.
How are we burying people with businesses and gifts and talents that never got used? How is that happening?
Yeah.
How we got preachers going around prophesying death to people?
Jesus. Oh.
How do we get there? Man's system. controlling the mind, controlling